In the very beginning, before time, before mountains, before oceans, before the stars, there was only God, eternal, all-powerful, all-knowing. He had no beginning and no end. Then, out of his infinite wisdom and love, he decided to create the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is where the story of everything begins. At first, the earth was formless and empty. Darkness covered the deep waters, and silence ruled. But something was moving. Genesis 1, verse 2. The Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. The Spirit of God moved with power, waiting for command of the Almighty. Then God spoke. In Genesis 1, verse 3, God said, "Let there be light." And at once, light burst into existence, chasing away the darkness. God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the cycle of time began, evening and morning, the very first day. Imagine the beauty of light shining for the first time over the face of the deep. The world had taken its first step into order. On the second day, God created a great expanse to separate the waters. Genesis 1, verses 6 to 8. Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. And it was so. God made the sky and placed it above the earth, dividing the waters and the clouds above from the waters below. The heavens stretched wide, and the blue sky appeared majestic and endless. Evening came, and morning followed. The second day was complete. On the third day, God spoke again. Genesis 1, verses 9 to 10. Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And the waters obeyed. Mighty oceans formed, rivers ran their course, and lakes took shape. The dry land rose up, and God called it earth. The gathered waters he called seas. But God wasn't finished. He commanded the earth to bring forth life. Genesis 1, verse 11. Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on a land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their kinds. And suddenly, the ground was clothed in green. Grass covered the plains. Flowers bloomed in colors never seen before. And fruit trees grew tall, each bearing seeds to reproduce after its own kind. God saw that it was good. Evening and morning marked the third day. The fourth day brought order to light and darkness. Genesis 1, verses 14 to 16. Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. The sun blazed with warmth, ruling the day. The moon softly reflected light at night. And millions of stars filled the heavens, twinkling in beauty, each one placed by God's hand. The lights were not just for beauty. They were to mark seasons, days, and years, a perfect system of time. Evening and morning passed. The fourth day ended. On the fifth day, God turned his attention to the waters and the skies. Genesis 1, verse 20. Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. The seas came alive with fish of every kind, small fish darting quickly, great whales moving with power, and colorful creatures unseen before. Above the land, the skies filled with life. Birds spread their wings, eagles soared, doves fluttered, and tiny sparrows chirped. Genesis 1, verse 22. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And so the waters and skies were filled with life. Evening and morning passed. The fifth day was complete. Day 6 was the crown of creation. First, God made animals to roam the land. Genesis 1, verses 24 to 25. Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind. And it was so. Mighty lions walked the grasslands, gentle sheep grazed, elephants trumpeted, and creeping insects moved upon the ground. Each animal was unique, each with purpose. But creation was not yet finished. God had saved the best for last. He said, Genesis 1, verse 26, "Let's make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals." And so God formed man from the dust of the ground. Genesis 2, verse 7. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Adam opened his eyes and breathed for the first time. He was alive, created in the image of God. Unlike the animals, he had a soul, a mind, and a spirit capable of fellowship with his Creator. But God saw that man should not be alone. So he caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, and from his side he took a rib and formed a woman. Genesis 2, verse 22. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. Adam called her woman, for she was taken out of man. Together they became the first human family. God blessed them. Genesis 1, verse 28. Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. God provided every seed-bearing plant and every fruit for food. Humanity was given both responsibility and blessing, to care for creation and to walk with God. Evening came and morning passed. The sixth day was complete. By the seventh day, God had finished his work of creation. Genesis 2, verses 2 to 3. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. God rested, not because he was tired, but to set an example. The seventh day became a holy day, a Sabbath of rest and remembrance. Creation was complete, perfect, beautiful, and good. The creation story reveals the power, wisdom, and love of God. By his word alone, he called everything into existence. The psalmist declared, in Psalm 19, verse 1, the heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. The Apostle John affirmed that Jesus himself was present at creation. John 1, verse 3. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. And Paul reminded us. Colossians 1, verse 16. For in him all things were created. Things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, all things have been created through him and for him. Creation was not an accident. It was a divine masterpiece. Every star, every tree, every ocean wave, every bird in the sky, and every human being exists by God's design. The story of creation teaches us that we are not here by chance. We were made with purpose, in the image of God, to live in fellowship with him and to care for his world. When we look at the beauty of nature, the shining sun, the roaring sea, the singing birds, we are reminded of the greatness of our Creator. Let us give thanks to God who made all things, and let us live in harmony with his creation.